Okay. Microphone is working, right? Seems to be. Hi, I'm Learning Fire, and today I am continuing. Come on. D&D themed print. Those are correct. Where? No, don't take over the whole thing. I want you there. There, now I can see it all. I need the fire pit. Come on. No, I want you part of this one. How did I do that again? I should be able to just... Seriously, I should be able to just do this. Except it doesn't work! That's not the order you're supposed to be in. Let's remove that. This is supposed to be Fire Pit. Why don't you keep the name instead of just going group 4? That would be nice. I need the sketch because I'm doing this section. Okay. This whole thing... What? Come on. Okay, I believe this should probably go here. Yeah. Okay. Now, I need to actually switch this. Image, properties, image color space. I need to switch it from CMYK to RGB for this. Yes, the image will look different because the colors will change a little bit. But I need it on RGB in order to actually use some of the... Because a lot of these things don't work when it's on CMYK, and what I want to use for the fire, it won't work. But the color should still be close enough to what I want. But they won't be identical. I'll switch it back at the end of this. Not the front color. I want the color right now. Hardly visible. Okay. Yes, I'm on the regular color. So some of this will get covered up. Like this is wood, so. Where's some of my effects? Textures. What? That is way too big. Let's see what this does exactly. Let's make this a little darker. And grayer. That is still too big. That is now too small. Can I get something in between? I want to see this a little closer. It's small. There's not going to be much of this even visible afterwards. I need this much darker now. Back over to this. I need... That thing is huge. Because that is going to be super dark because it's burned. I need outright black now. How about this? Also super huge. Now let's take this again, turn it into an eraser. Turn down the opacity. Was the dark one. I go over this so many times before I'm finally... Excuse me, that is the wrong color. Didn't I tell you black? Go back to black. Okay. I need to do the rocks. That's as far as that goes. Let's go back to the basic. That's too big. 25 is a bit too big. 10's okay. Let's see. What color rocks do I want these to be? What kind of rocks do I want them to be at all? Go away! Probably granite. But what kind of granite? Admittedly, it'd be a combination, really. Actually, granite's too easy. What was the word? I've lost it. Let's just go with breccia. Which is a sedimentary rock with angular pieces. Conglomerate's the other one I was looking for. I think that one works. Admittedly, I'm going to be putting weathering on this and then burned sections because it's right next to a fire. But let's start with this. That seems like a reasonable color. Not all of them will be the same. But let's start with some base colors here. Excuse me. Did not mean to press anything. Some of this is going to get blockaded. I am paying attention if anybody wishes to speak. Okay, I have got a full circle there. Front color. That was this one. Because certain numbers of these are not going to be all that visible. I want to make sure some of them are still visible. One sec, let me turn off the regular color. Shouldn't matter too much if I actually fill this whole thing in. Not coloring those. This is as far as I'm going. Probably give me an interesting effect after it's all gone. All done, I mean. Okay. What color do I want the conglomerate or breccia? What did I just do? Excuse you. No, excuse you. Get back up here. Get back up here. did not need to move that at all. That's annoying. You go back up with this. Seriously, go back up with this. You go with that. You're supposed to be up there too. No. Stop. Now stay where I want you. Okay. That's definitely not what I want. Let's go with this. That is a cover of rust. Let's just go back over to this. Yes, rocks really do look like this. You can look it up. Rocks do weird things. You just got to make sure that if it's angled on one, it's got to stay angled. And if it's curved, it stays curved. I think this is angled. Most of them have this like similar sizes. They kind of look like cookies, at least at the moment. I'll be doing the shading once I finally have everything else done. This one's going to be predominantly the shading of the actual fire. This one's round. Size of the pieces in it help determine specific names for the conglomerate or the breccia. If it's made of mostly large pieces, it's named something. I don't remember what it is right now. This looks angled. Grab other colors. Interesting that it has both breccia and conglomerate, but it happens. Didn't I choose another color? Give me that light gray. Mostly breccia, which would mean like a landslide. Because they're all broken. Conglomerate's usually from a riverbed. Okay, I need the others back on. Although most of these are not going to be all that visible. some of them might be a little visible. Hello. Kind of looks like a ring of cookies at the moment. Okay. I want textures. I'm going to start with this like orangish color because it does represent rust. That is way too big. I need you significantly smaller. Does this do what I want? That's underneath. Not quite. Let's turn down your opacity quite a bit. And let's see if it's still... Kind of. Turn that up a tiny bit. Let's look at this one. Also turn down your opacity. I don't know if that's enough. A little more. Rust means there's iron in this. And honestly, sometimes it looks like it's completely coated in it. Those are on the wrong ones. Let's turn off the regular color so I know which ones I'm dealing with right now. Okay, let's do the other ones now and be on the correct one. So the ones that do not have moss would have been burned completely off unless it's on the outside. So I'll do that in a little bit and it'll be on the outer edge, so just on the front. Rest will not have necessarily been burned off. Turn off the color, main color again, go back to front. Maybe a little closer to that. What makes good moss? Not that color. That's actually a decent one. That goes too far out of the rock. Too far off the rock. Too far off the rock. What's this one? Let's turn down the opacity a little bit. Let's make this a brown. I don't want it to be the same color brown. I'm trying to go with dirt and age. Let's turn that down a little more. And what do I get? Because I don't want a clean break. Most of this looks like it's a clean break, so. Like you've just broken the rock. Hopefully these are still the color I want when I switch it. Okay, turn back on the color, go over to those. Make sure I'm on the correct layer. I'm just trying to make it look like dirt and age, which you wouldn't really tend to clean off of the rocks when you're making a fire pit. You might scrape some moss off, but you would not get a clean break usually on your rocks unless you've got like a rock hammer and you've specifically broken the rock apart. But that's a little too much work when you can just find rocks just sitting around. I don't think that's too bad. I need different colors for the moss. Let's go back over to this. I need something slightly lighter. What else have I got down here? What's this one? Forest. What does this do? Undo that. Turn down the opacity. It's not clear what it does. Ground, ground. That will be later. What's this one? Also ground. Turn down that opacity. Oh, that works. Turn off that background one again. And the other. I gotta take the rest to it again. Orange. Turn that down some. That may have been too far for some of this. Okay, I think they're looking like rocks. One sec, back to rest. And the other color. Have I made the wood? I think I might have made the wood too small. Now back over to the textures. Whoa, that's too much. You're still on eraser. Okay, I think that's a bit better. Some of this will not be visible. Oops. I think that actually looks pretty decent. Oops, I almost forgot these. Basic, I want basic. I need a bigger one than that. Back to textures. Okay. What's this one do? Not what I want. That could actually be decent for the fire. The actual fire. Give me a moment. I want the black. I want this opacity down. That works. Back over here. I want a rough texture. Not that one. Yeah, not that one. Floor. What does this do? Especially turned down. That works. Give me a different color. Let's only use it on that one. And I need yet another color. When I actually get to the shading on this will probably be better. But let's go over to the fire. Once again, that is too far away. I keep forgetting that. Okay, I need to find a pen. I believe it's in effects. I think it's this one. We'll find out. I want brightest color in the middle, coldest color on the outside. So maybe some blue, but oh my gosh, give me the correct ones. I want temperature. Give me by temperature. That one's not giving me blue, but that's fine. It is giving me pale yellow to dark red. which means I need to start on the outside. It's a dark red. Please tell me this is the pen I'm actually looking for. Kinda, yeah. I think it is. Digital. Or it's this one. Turn you down a bit. It's not that one. Turn that down. I think it's the first. What does the quill do? No. Is this? Yeah, that's what I want. Okay. Let's zoom in a bit more. It's fun playing with this pen. Now let's go to a brighter red. But yeah, this pen does not work on CMYK. I'm gonna have to find the glow one at some point because that's gonna be the fire effects. Too far toward the green. Okay, where is my brightness one? What's this one do? Dodge, color. I need to go over to fire effects. Because brightness is not an effect that it does. Luminosity. That's what I want. Let's turn down this opacity a little bit, and let's try this. On that pen, could I have turned luminosity on that? I don't remember. Let me go back over to the fire one. Digital, you're down near the bottom. This one. Can I have you on luminosity? Not lighten, luminosity. Possibly. Give me back that dark red. Give me a moment. I forgot it did that. That's kind of cool. Also, let's go and turn this into eraser. It is already down at 1 pixel. That opacity needs to go down by quite a bit. Okay. Did I overdo it? I might have overdone it. Okay. At the same time, I kind of want this, because fire is sort of see-through. Let's add another layer of fire behind this. Let's go with the bright red to start. Orange next. I'm just going to do this over and over again for a bit. Fire effects. It's like that's in front. I want that behind. Or do I want it in front? One sec. I think I like that better. Fire effects, come on. Back over to basic. I want this. I want you on luminosity, if I can. Let's turn this into an eraser first. Get rid of this. I want this. I think I want that first. Okay, let's try this. Now the much lighter yellow. Yes, it's still on luminosity. Outright white. Blur also on luminosity. Blur seems to work better when I'm on RGB rather than CMYK. Because it's not doing the weird. Good to know. Now my blur tool needs to be on RGB. Let's go back to 10 and back to these yellows. All of you are on luminosity. Pretty much I'm just trying to make sure that you can't see the center of this, because you can't in a fire. Nope, I can still see that. If I turn down this opacity, I just want to test something. If I turn down the opacity and go over No. Gimme. No. I want that to stay sharp because it's not... What's this do? Colorize mask editing tool. No, I don't want that. Let's just keep going back and forth on this for a little bit because I can still see that. It will eventually gain enough color that it's gonna disappear. Maybe I don't have you far enough down. Do I not have you far enough down? I don't think I have you far enough down. Still in luminosity. Back to the blur. Which is also on luminosity. Do we have it? I think we might have it. Okay. Shading. I'm going ahead and just doing the entire fire pit. Highlights. The fire pit, its shading and highlights is going to be predominantly itself. I should probably do the ground, at least inside the fire pit, so that way I can see. Whoops. I don't think that looks too bad. Okay, what I want is probably this. I want a different color brown, so let's start with this and go over here. And then you go back to textures, not sketch, textures. Some of these were outright ground. Forest. This now needs to be bigger. Actually, let's just go ahead and make that much bigger, because I can change that. I can erase what I need to. Let's zoom in and see what this really looks like. Not too bad. Let's... Come on. Right. Okay. Erase the extra. Go back to basic. I don't need the sketch anymore. The sketch can go away. Okay. All the way up here, let's start with the highlights. let's go with this one. Your opacity, actually your opacity should be really close to 100. It's on luminosity. I need to be on that. I need that to be on white. That is way too close to 100. I need back highlights. One sec. Front color, color. Backside highlights. I'll probably put the shading there too. But it's going to change at least a little bit. Back over to highlights. I think some of this is just too big. That's more like it. This was what, 65%? Undo. Okay. I need this back because I didn't want to get rid of the layer. I just wanted to get rid of other things. Can I spell? There's that back. Okay. That's down. Yes, I'm still on white. I'm going to try and erase some of that. Even though it's not getting rid of all of it, because I still have the opacity changed, I think it is doing what I want it to. Right, that's the other one. Better. Back to the other one. I need that back to normal. That looks pretty good. Let's go to the shading. I want black, and the opacity needs to go down lower. Turn that back up a little bit. Turn it back up and switch it to eraser. Okay, yeah. That's about what I want. And these can give me extra texture points. Turn this back up and switch to eraser. And once again down. I had that at 30 and turn the eraser off. And back again. Okay. I gotta switch it again. It's like, what was I on? That's gonna be the backside highlights, so I need to switch this back. That needs to be higher. Okay. Not much, because it's on the back side, so we don't see as much as the back side of the rocks. That line of dark is a little too thick. zoom out and see what this looks like. I think it's pretty good. Okay. One more thing, the smoke. Probably in texture. I know one of these has got to be useful for smoke. What did I use for clouds? That's not it. Let's turn that down and turn down the opacity and see how that looks. That could work. I just got to change it a little bit. I was leaning too far forward on my chair. I think it's too thick, actually. Effects. What do I have in effects? Nothing I want. Digital? Let's go back over to textures. I was like, what's under sketch? Let's edit this. Edit. Size spacing. I want to increase the spacing. Okay, let's see what this looks like with the spacing increased. Too much. Let's see what this looks like. That's too much still. Seriously, what did I use for clouds? Besides clouds themselves, what do I have under weather? The lightning, ice, and cloud brushes, the ones that actually look like. What's under my what's under RGBA? Pretty sure none of this is what I want. That's definitely not. That could have actually been useful for the rocks. Paint. What's under paint? Because some of these don't work. No, how about this? Maybe. Water pattern. Let's decrease that size. Are you a blur tool? Well, let's zoom in a little bit. I think it might be a blur tool. Widespread area. Let's turn you down a little bigger. That'll probably work. I think I found it. It's a wet brush. Erase some of this. And it is water spread wide area. And what's this one do? Looks like it pretty much is a blur tool. I think that actually worked pretty well. Let's zoom this out so I can actually see. Where did that come from and what layer are you on? Basic, eraser. Seriously, what layer? Oh, this layer. That was convenient. Okay. This should be centered. There we go. And there's the fire pit. I need to switch this back. I mean, I'll probably be switching this whole thing back and forth. Properties, image color space, go back to CMYK. I know it will change things. So you change this a bit, but not enough for me to not keep it, especially when it's this small. But it still at least keeps most of the actual things I want with said fire. Okay. Let's see if anybody's here first. If anybody wants to say something. Because I think I'm done for the day. The fire is completely done. I did the whole thing. I'll do more shading on the this tiny pile of wood later when I've actually got the forest done. The background. Because that's next. And then I'm figuring out what the shading on everybody else. Because those are the last things. The entire forest and then the shading on everyone. So there's at least, at minimum, a minimum of 5 more live streams for this. Anybody? So my next event is SageFenCon, which is in May. I do have a list down below. But yeah. My next event is SageFenCon in May in Pasco. I should hit save. Okay. Okay, it doesn't look like if anybody wishes to speak, so it will do announcements. So, yes, SageFenCon is my next event. That is in May in Pasco. And then my next event after that, by the way, SageFenCon, I will be in both the vendor hall as well as the art show. And then MisCon, I have not yet gotten any confirmation or anything yet, but I should at least be with the vendors as I have been for the last several years. Like 3, 4, 5. I'd have to look. But at least a few years. I've been there for a few years now. I don't know why I said several. Anyway. And then I have the Sandpoint Renaissance Fair, which has been paid for, so that one's pretty much confirmed. And then to the Toledo Ren Fair down in Toledo, Oregon. That one won't be happening. I probably won't get confirmation for that until April. Yeah, my next one's SageFenCon in Pasco, Washington in May, Mother's Day weekend. And then I think that's it for now. I will see you next Sunday in a week. Well, I'm Lorraine Fire, and well, See ya.